behind the door and what's about to happen any moment, because there's been some really bad years for me and Rich. I was going to say, I don't know, I'm hoping so, but me and Rich have had, you know, some interesting, you know, bad times in our relationship as a result of Vicious Circle.
You have any good fun?
Probably not, no. Usually, I love the way Rich likes to refer to himself as my older brother I never had. I like to refer to him as the older brother I'm glad I never had. What is he wearing? I'm a little bit terrified. Oh, I apologise if anyone...
Sit down, boy!
Excuse me, who are you?
I am Death.
I'm so sorry. Excuse me, who are you?
No, I'm Death, not Death! It was a real good job. We tried to keep the stupid ones out. Name? Sorry, name?
Emma Eastwood.
Alright, that's going on your permanent record. Shall we begin? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richard Grange, and I shall be your Grim Reaper for this, your journey into the afterlife. Yes, corpses and corpsettes, I'm afraid the food at JCI events has finally been done what it's been threatening to do for many years now, and you've all died of a really aggressive form of food poisoning. Welcome to Limbo, I hope you enjoy your stay. Now, unfortunately, we are experiencing some minor delays with the progressing of souls onto their final destination. The main cause of this is due to a lessening in the requirements needed to enter heaven, the increase in paperwork that this has caused, and a basic lack of staffing. I can tell you what, I have been rushed off my scythe today. First, I was reaping this fella who got stung by a bee. Ah, the humble bee. Natural enemy of the tightrope walker. Then I was off reaping this woman who got hit on the head by a bearded lady dwarf with crab hands and ram legs who got fired from a cannon. Freak accident. There's plenty of girders, don't worry about that. And then I did a job at the bloke who invented the hokey cokey's funeral. Very strange affair. First they put his left leg in, then they took his left leg out. I was there for ages. So anyway, back to the reaping. Trying to keep you aware of the potential wait times in Limbo, we've adopted a ticketing system to which you should have all received your allotted numbers. Now, we do have this indicating system, just to try and keep you aware your actual area in the queue. I do kind of apologise that. We have got one hell of a backlog at the moment. It's this new system, really. In the old days, it used to be black or white, up or down. You know, pretty much we'll take anybody now. You know, Saddam Hussein, Hitler, Gemma Fletcher, all the monsters. All the monsters. But it doesn't... Sorry. There's a lot of material to work with here. But it doesn't seem to matter because we still have to process the paperwork. Yeah, in the old days, half of these here would have been stamped reject. Pick your asbestos pants at the door, you're going downstairs, old cocker. Anyway, let's crack on. How many do we have here tonight? Gemma? 21. 21. Okay, let's just flick through these quickly. 20. Okay, let's just do that again. 20. Can you give me a second? I just need to call the office. I should have been a bit more prepared than this. Right then. Hi, can you speak to Simon, please? Yes, I'll hold. Dum dum da dum 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 dum. Hi Simon, yeah, it's Rich. Yeah, I'm out on that group reaping. Yeah, covering for Kevin. Can you look at my entry, see if I've left an application form behind? Okay, nothing there. Ah, okay. No, I've got a group of 20 and I've only got like 19 application forms. Okay then. Can you speak to Jeff? Oh, he's at lunch. How long? Yes, I appreciate that in the concept of eternity, a couple of millennia isn't that long. What do you recommend I do then? I've left me kerplunk in the other cowl. No, I'm not letting Emery Wood talk to them. That'll just make it feel like a couple of millennia. Okay, I'll do what I can. Just hurry up, can you please? Okay, bye. Right then, guys and girls, got a bit of an admin problem. Looks like we might have a little bit of time to kill. So, I spy, with my little eye, something beginning with S.
Size.
Shit. Okay, I'm kind of hoping that was going to take a little bit longer. Okay, we're not normally allowed to do this, but who fancies a flick through their application forms? See, these forms I've got here pretty much cover your entire lives. Every good deed, every immoral act. There should be something to raise a little bit of a giggle at the very least. Right then, these tend to break down into a few likes and dislikes. Your dreams, your regrets, your sins, your virtues. So let's pick one at random, shall we? Right, we have Sandra Prozac? Sandra Parazone? So we have Sandra Smith. Interesting. It says here that Sandra, that you're German. I'll be honest with you, I've seen stronger starts to an application. Oh, people's opinion of you generally seems quite positive. Even goes against the typical German stereotyping. As a whole, people find you quite funny. Well, there are lots of occurrences of people pointing at you in the streets and laughing, but I think that counts still the same. We also have a couple of quotes from your husband, Stephen, who would regularly describe you as being a trophy wife. Granted, there are a few more quotes that would describe you at the very best as a third prize. He's also quoted that you have the skin of an 18-year-old. But he does think you should consider giving it back as you're starting to put creases into it. And I guess that's one of my favourite jokes, they got nothing. And I guess you've got to that age where, you know, you start to realise that time may be a great healer, but it's a lousy beautician. Only today, ladies and gentlemen, she found her first grey pubic hair in the main course. Excuse me. Death loves a pint. And it may be due to your age that you've started to insist that when you and Stephen have sex, that it's with the lights off. Which Stephen doesn't really mind. You know, it's just all the hiding that really hurts. But he doesn't believe it's because of your advancing years. No, he thinks it's more to do with the trauma you went through during your first child, you know. You'd be there screaming, "Get this thing out of me! Get this thing out of me!" And that was only during the conception. It also covers a few of your interests. Firstly, you enjoy public speaking, which I'm led to believe they consider very educational. Well, most of the people have said after hearing you speak, well, that taught me a lesson. And you also enjoy keeping fit. And you regularly go to the gym. Well, I can only imagine that your favourite machine must be the vending one. Right then. Kind of makes a little bit of sense. Let me get straight. So you enjoy making yourself look good, and you enjoy being the centre of attention. It kind of explains why your sin section in vanity is top of the list. There's even an entry in here from today. It says that in preparation for this evening, you spent 5 hours in a beauty salon. Was that just getting a quote? You actually, for a time, thought that this problem was medical. So you went to the doctors and asked him how to get rid of 12 pounds of ugly flesh. Decapitation wasn't the answer you were looking for. So, you know, you tried to look down the cosmetic surgery route to defeat the ageing process. You looked at, you know, getting a couple of processes done. First to get your boobs sorted, and then to get your arsehole bleached. Personally, I can't imagine Stephen as a blonde. But you still went for the consultation anyway. You stood in front of the surgeon and went, "I want you to make me like Charlie Pearson. He said, dear, for that, you don't need plastic surgery, only lobotomy. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've just got this coming through. Hello, Simon. Yeah, firstly, I spy was a stupid idea. Secondly, have you spoken to Jeff yet? Oh, good. I'll just check. Are any of you conjoined? No, a good call. It is Barnsley. But, no, they're all separate. Okay then, speak to a bit. Bye. Right then. Next random application we have. Stephen Vanderval. It says here that you're originally from Belgium and that you relocated to Sheffield. Well, I guess death must come as a blessed relief. It says the biggest regret in your life concerned a one-night stand that went terribly wrong. Is it 2 children you have now? It says here that you love being married to Sandra, and she really is your Mrs. Right. But it wasn't until after the wedding that you found out that her middle name was Always. And it's not always been smooth sailing. First, Stephen, there was your problem with learning disabilities. And then Sandra had to overcome her issues with anorexia. Ladies and gentlemen, they really have been through thick and thin. Slow burner. And granted, like any couple, they do argue about the usual thing, like when Stephen leaves the toilet seat up. But Stephen, you love her. You make a conscious effort to put the seat down. But does it make her happy? No. Because now she complains because it's covered in piss. But you did try to make a special effort on her birthday this year. You booked a lovely table, which to be honest was a waste of time. She only managed to pot 3 balls, and one of them wasn't enough. You also went and bought her a new bag and a new belt, which, you know, was cheaper than buying a new Hoover. But for a special gift, you did something that Sandra always wanted. You had a flower named after her. Sandriarchus Sandriarchus mythicus, which she was thrilled about until she learned about the planting instructions, which apparently she's crap in her bed, but fantastic against the wall. Well, people's opinion of you seems very similar as well. Charming, witty, intelligent, don't appear anywhere. Dan Center says you're a difficult man to forget, but well worth that effort. James Olcott used to think you were a pain in the neck, but now has a much lower opinion. But Phil Cavalier Lumley does say that you're not a complete idiot. Some parts are missing. But now, I was going to actually jump to your defence, mate. It does seem a little harsh, but I've just flicked through a few more pages of your application form, and do you want to be really glad that stupid isn't a hell-worthy trespass? Because you'd struggle to pour water out of a shoe if we printed the instructions on a heel. It says here that you would often brag about the fact you own over 10,000 books. Well, that's a little bit like Steve Bailey bragging about owning over 10,000 pairs of trainers. In truth, Stephen, if your IQ was any lower, we'd probably have to water you. This application form is littered with examples. This, ladies and gentlemen, is only from September. We begin. You and Sandra at the beginning of the month were doing some DIY. She found you going through a bag of nails. You were taking each nail out in turn and looking at it. One you'd keep, the next one you'd throw away. She went, what on earth are you doing? She went, the points are on the wrong side. I said, you idiot, they're for the back of the house. Then 2 weeks ago, he was in Meadowhall shopping and they had a power cut. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen was trapped on an escalator for 4 hours. And the other night they were out and they were doing a pub quiz. And he was asked, what is the world's most dangerous insect? According to Stephen, it's the hepatitis B. And only yesterday, you filled the Escort with diesel. She died. Sorry. Hang on. Hi, Simon. Yeah, spoke to Jeff again. Good. So we should only have 18. Right then, what we're going to do with it? We're sending it back. Which one is it? You don't know yet, but you're working on it. Okay. Could you do me a favour? Could you send me the sole transfer form, please? Okay, no. Open Explorer. My files. Double click. Scroll down. If you could, yeah, look into the forms. Yeah. It's under the folder, If I Could Live Another Life. Okay, pal, thanks very much. Bye. Okay, folks, hopefully we shouldn't be too much longer now. So I'll move on to our next application form, and we have... Oliver Hyde. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Poor Ollie. It's not been easy for you, has it? I mean, that's nowhere to start life, is it? Born in Barnsley. For Christ's sake, it's the only place in the UK where Sports Direct has an evening wear department. And then there's the Barnsley but then again, the Barnsley Chronicle have released plans today that the town is planning to twin itself with Las Vegas. Apparently they do have a lot in common, as they're the only two places on the planet where you can pay for sex with chips. It also sounds like you have two ambitions in life. The first one was to become the last man on earth, just to see if all those girls were lying. And you also wanted to become an actor, but it never really worked for you, did it, babe? No. Your first audition. Yes, your first audition, right? 4 times, right? Your first audition was for the part of a cloud. They needed 10 clouds and 11 actors turned up. Apparently it was overcast. The last audition you had was for a part in Romeo and Juliet, which I believe you should have got, if not for a simple misunderstanding of stage directions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to go into graphic details, but Ollie's script definitely said, enter Juliet from the rear. You tried to make the best of it. You wear your little bowler hat and proclaim yourself the poshest man in Barnsley. It's a little bit like saying you're Gary Glitter's favourite search engine. And if this quote from Debbie is typical, it's less poshest man in Barnsley and more a twat in a hat. But bless you, your parents didn't like you either, did they? When you were born, they tried to swap you at the hospital, didn't they? Wouldn't have been bad if they'd picked another baby, but they chose a vase. The school was no better, especially with your nut allergy. The other children would make you play Russian roulette with a bag of revels. It says here that when you went on any school trips, your father had to fill in the permission slips. At the question, in case of emergency, he would write, do not resuscitate. Oh, poor Ollie. I feel like I should give you a hug. But then I came across this in your folder. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Ollie's sin section on lust. Sorry, unfulfilled lust. In fact, most of it involves Gemma Fletcher and the sexual tension that exists between them. And when I say sexual tension, I mean Ollie feels horny, she feels tense. But bless him, government figures show a rise in sexually transmitted diseases amongst the young. Ollie would be lucky to catch flu from a girl. In fact, the last time he was inside a woman was when he was climbing the Statue of Liberty. But apparently next week you were due to compete in the final of the World Celibacy World Cup, after knocking the Pope out in the semi-finals. It's a shame you're dead now, because I think you were a dead cert to beat Steve Bailey in the final. Hang on, I have found a bit about your sexual indiscretions. It starts with your first love. Her name was Lucy, and you were both 11. You both grew up together, spending many a happy day playing. When one summer holiday, Lucy came over to the young Ollie and planted a massive kiss on his lips. He was awfully surprised to feel Lucy's tongue pop out. Well, as you can imagine, Ollie fell in love instantly. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, later that year, Lucy developed distemper and had to be put down. It then jumps forward to last week, and that trip you had to the zoo to watch the monkeys wanking. You then went to the lions, and you were still wanking. Oh. Hello. Yes, about time. So the ticket number. What do you mean there's a problem? So somebody is going back, but not to their original body. Okay, so there's a good chance we're going to end up with like a man being trapped inside a woman's body situation. A bit like Emma Eastwood. Oh, and it's a woman's body that you've picked to get rehoused. Which one? Really? Well, I guess you're right. You know, from a distance, Gemma Fletcher does look kind of mannish. And womanish. Okay, pal. No, I'll sort that out. Cheers. Bye. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, don't need that anymore. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a number. We have a slight issue. But, you know, as I always say, you should always look on the bright side, you know? If you're going back into Gemma's body, just think, Ollie, you'll know what it feels like to be inside the body of a woman. Joe, you'll know a day without the curse of ginger. Scott, you'll finally be able to grow that beard you always wanted. And Debbie, you'll finally be able to grow that beard you always wanted. Right then, guys, the person going back and getting the opportunity to live another lifetime is ticket number 1970010199920. Who is it, ladies and gentlemen? Who is it? It's Gemma Fletcher! Congratulations, Gemma! Congratulations! Okay, I'll just take you through the procedure for going back. What you'll need to do is you will need to step away from the light. Yes? Step away from the light that contains your friends and loved ones, beckon you to the afterlife. But I've read your report, just step away from the light. And Gemma, very few of us get a chance of a second chance. So I may recommend on your second attempt at life that you go out there, brutalise yourself, and laugh at the certain pricks that take it seriously, because there is no way you can win at this. So then, everybody, time for the rest of us to go. Everyone wave goodbye to Gemma. Bye-bye, Gemma. Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of your life with all the people that like you dead. Rest of you, corpses, corpsettes, let's go and enjoy Nirvana. Thank you and good night.